All right, this is it. New apartment, new setup, same chaos. I've done it so many times now that it almost feels normal. Arriving somewhere and rebuilding everything from scratch. I think actually that's one of my favorite parts about this lifestyle. The moment when the room is still empty and you get to turn it into something creative, something that feels like you. I've learned that it doesn't take too much to feel at home. Just a desk, a bit of light, and the right tools to work with. About half of everything I own is tech. My camera gear, my MacBook, my lights, and it sounds like a lot, but it's also what allows me to work from everywhere. So today I will rebuild my setup again. The same small workspace I've recreated in so many different apartments already. My personal creative zone where I can focus on things that matter. It always starts with the MacBook. That's the brain of everything. Then I add two portable monitors, one 15-inch and one 24-inch. They basically turn this little desk into a proper workspace. I travel with them in my suitcase, wrapped between clothes, and so far they've survived every flight. Then there's my loop stick, which helps me to speed up my editing workflow, and of course a mouse and keyboard. I also have two small LED lights I usually use to create some atmosphere in the room, especially when I edit at light night. And that's my whole setup. Maybe not the smallest one, but still portable enough to make any random apartment into a nice working space. All right, let's talk gear. First off, I have a lot of these small pouches where I organize all my cable stuff and small things. So my main camera is the Sony a7 IV. It covers everything I need from photo to video, and the lens I'm using most of the time is the 24-70. But I also have the Tamron 70-100mm, which I actually don't use every day, but it's perfect for events or some jobs where you have to be a bit further away. So I thought this might be the perfect lens to add up to the 24-70. For all my daily stuff, and the camera I actually use the most is the Fuji X100VI. It's the perfect camera for traveling, taking portraits, and doing some kind of street photography. I also like the fixed lens, but honestly, it's not a good camera for jobs because it's not the fastest. The autofocus isn't super reliable. So yeah, but for what I do, I really like it, especially because it's so small and the quality is so good. For vlogs and quick stuff like this, I use the small DJI cameras, and I got them all. The Osmo Pocket 3, the Action 5, I also like to use this one for underwater stuff, and the Osmo Nano for POV shots. They're tiny, but super capable in my opinion. And honestly, since I'm using them, I don't really need to carry a gimbal all the time with me. Okay, for lights, I carry two small pocket kind of lights, a Xeon B color one, which has 40 watt, and the Amaran Ace 24C, which is fully RGB, and they are actually pretty good, especially adding some light or colors into a dark room. Most of the time I use these ones when I shoot inside in rooms or filming myself for some kind of talking headshots. And yeah, that's actually pretty much all I need. Then for audio, I use the DJI Mic 2 and the DJI Mini. clean sound, easy to charge, and they're reliable. That's actually all I really need. Then there's some small stuff like the Sony MX5, which I really like for editing. Also the noise cancelling is pretty good, especially when you're flying somewhere. I also got a super clamp and a magic arm to put my cameras in all kind of crazy perspective and mount them wherever I want. And last but not least, I also got the drone, the DJI Mini 3 Pro, I think. And it's actually not the news, but it works for everything I do with it. Getting some quick aerial shots. Yeah, I just like the size and carry it with me all the time. So yeah, that's basically it in terms of camera gear. Sometimes I still laugh when I look at all of it, because for someone who is living out of a suitcase, I definitely have a lot of gear. But compared what I used to have when I lived in Germany, this is still super lightweight. I had multiple cameras, prime lenses, tripods, studio life, you name it. Now, every single piece I carry has a reason to be there. If it doesn't help me to create, it stays out. It's not about owning less. It's about owning what makes sense. The right amount of tools to stay creative. And when everything is finally in place, it feels like home again. Not because of the walls or the view, but because of the energy that starts to flow when the space is yours. Look, home for me is something I rebuild again and again. A desk, a bit of light, a few tools. Enough to turn any room into a place where I feel grounded. It's the kind of space that gives more than it takes. A space that refuels me, that brings energy and clarity, that makes me want to create. And maybe that's what it's really about. Finding a rhythm that helps you to create.